Hi everybody, it's Thursday the 3rd of September and our objective today is to write the Space Adventure story. So yesterday we did the plan, we planned the story, we know what we're going to write, we're thinking about how our space adventure is going to take shape. But for the next 2 days, you're going to have the time to write your story. Okay? So now you are going to be writing your space story. Now, first of all, we need to look at how to be successful. First of all, number one, we've got to be set in space. That's the whole point of us writing our space adventure story. It needs to have a space setting. Now, some people yesterday said, Mr. Denham, I want to do a space setting, but I want to do it on a different planet. I don't want to do it on Mars. And that's amazing. That's okay. You can do it on the moon. You can do it set on Jupiter. You could set it on Pluto, wherever you want. Okay, that's up to you. The second part of how we're going to be successful is it needs to be done in the style of Jazz Harper in the diary form. Okay. Now, make sure. Yesterday I gave you an example from a child from Year 6, and I gave you an example of their space adventure story that they did for me last year. Okay, and that's a really good example of the diary form style, just like Jazz Harper as well. Okay, so I'd really like to see you having a go at writing your space adventure in diary form. Now, some people ask, Mr. Dem, how many diary entries do we need to do? Do we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? My advice is, if you want to do a shorter story, maybe you could do 5 diary entries. Okay. If you want to do a slightly longer story, maybe be aiming for about 10 diary entries. Okay. Someone else asked, Mr. Can we write it on PowerPoint? Can we do it on PowerPoint? However you want to write it is fine. Okay, if you want to do it on PowerPoint, you can do it on PowerPoint. If you want to write it in your school book, do it in your school book. Either one is fine. If you want to do it on Microsoft Word or do it on a Word document, absolutely fine. Okay? Next one. Look at all this punctuation here that you should be including. Okay? We've got dashes, exclamation marks, question marks, full stops, commas, colons, semicolons. Okay? Speech marks. If someone's talking. Okay, new speaker, new line. Remember these things from Year 4 that you've learned. And brackets and writing in paragraphs. All of those things you need to remember. Okay, it's very, very important. Okay, that's the next step to be successful. And the last thing is I've given you this. Okay, if I pull this to the side here, hopefully, here we go. This here is something that we found really useful last year. Okay, now, first of all, here are lots of different descriptive words, okay, that are all based around space. Things like atmosphere, aliens, asteroid, spacesuit, teleporter, wormhole. Okay, different ways to describe things. So, for example, okay, you could put them together. Okay, for example, the futuristic mothership. Yeah, or the majestic capsule. Okay. Or the vast wormhole. Okay, so you can put those things together. Okay, and then what can it do? Okay, so you can use these verbs here. Okay, to help you also with the descriptive language. So, for example, you could say, I hurtled. Yeah, I hurtled towards the majestic, to the majestic mothership. Okay, or we launched from the spherical teleporter. Okay, you can put them all together. For example, at launch, spherical teleporter. Okay, put it together. Okay, and here are some examples of effective phrases. We swiftly advanced towards the module. A merry sturge of static triggered the shuttle's alarm. The mysterious being had a name, Teletron. The majestic launch in a blaze of white light. A series of mechanical levers and complex switches hurtled towards our futuristic mothership. Okay, so you can use this language also to help you. Another thing that you can use to help you is the space glossary that we made earlier in the week and last week as well. I think it was last Friday we made the space glossary. Okay, and we've been adding to it a little bit this week. You can go back and have a look at that. Okay, and look in the comment section Okay, the Space Glossary comment section where there's tons and tons and tons of extra words. I know that loads of people were putting in words. Okay, so you've got all of that at your fingertips to help you create the best space adventure story possible. Good luck with the writing today. Remember your punctuation, remember your paragraphs, and remember the success criteria. Good luck, everyone, with writing your space adventure stories. I can't wait to read them.